Hello, everyone, and good evening, and welcome to Animal Advocates Radio Voices Carry for Animals, number 524 shows of counting this evening. I want to welcome all you new listeners aboard and all you returning listeners. Thank for all your ongoing support. It is highly appreciated. I'm just going to go over a couple of things before we do get started here. I got to make an announcement on each show that I have because it brings in different audiences. But on Thursday, May 14th, will be my last podcast live stream on Podbean podcast app and web. Okay, so I got that's the sad news, but the good news is in June, coming soon in June, I will be starting on a new podcast, which is going to be awesome. It is Riverside.fm. And I got to start from scratch, but I could do with all of your help with the gaining listeners and followers and just keep going because I'm not going to give up, but I will keep everyone notified and informed what's going on. And when the first show is, I believe it's going to be June the 4th, if everything goes well. But Podbean podcast app and web, they're removing the live stream with the live studio chat room with the call-ins, and the only offer right now is to have the group recordings, which is the host and the guest. Then it's pre-recorded, then it gets published all over. So I wasn't interested in that, so I'm going to go ahead and set up this Riverside.fm and as soon as possible. So we got something to look forward to. We can't give up hope because the mama bear is relentless, optimistic, and proactive. So I'm not going to shut down Voices Carry for Animals podcast under no circumstances. So and I need all your ongoing support to help me to get going and move it up. I just had great news on the goodpods.com. Voices Carry for Animals podcast has reached one of the top podcasts in 2026, and that is so inspiring to hear for animal rights. So I'm going to keep going here and not give up. It was so exciting to hear that. But I'll give my name is Debbie Dahmer, is AKA Mama Bear, and Mama Bear is on the air because she really does care. Okay, so and in June, Mama Bear will be back on the air. So I'm not going anywhere. You can't catch the Mama Bear because I run. But anyway, this show is coming live from the Podbean podcast app and player and on live stream. Okay, so all the ones that's listening, on the web, the Podbean Podcast web. The promo is out there on X and LinkedIn, Facebook, everything. You can listen right from that promo link. Okay, you can, but you just can't come into the chat room with us. So if you would like to join us in the chat room, there's just a couple simple steps to take, and that is either from Google Play Store or the Apple Store. If you already have it installed, and then what you're going to do and install free is the Podbean podcast app and player, and install that. And then once you do that, then you're going to search Voices Carry for Animals podcast, and then follow. That's very important. It's in there. You'll see it. And on the app, all my former shows are located on there, so you can go and listen and share 24/7, and keep spreading the word. Because after this goes to a new podcast, Riverside.fm, all my shows will be they'll be archived on demand episodes, which will be saved, so you can always go back there. I will miss Podbean podcast app and player, but I have no choice unless I take group recordings, and I'm not interested in that. So everyone that's in the chat room, I want to welcome you to Aloha, hello, and Mama Cat. Mama Cat is in the house too, and also my mother Moose, aka Pat Dahmer. Uh, and she always loves joining us also. Okay, so I want to welcome all you, and if you like you're on the web and you want to join us, you can just do those simple steps. Apple Play Store, Google, or I'm sorry, the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. If you already got it installed on your phone, your laptop, your tablet, or I see this phone, the laptop, uh, tablet, or the iPad, and then install Podbean podcast app and player. And after that, then search Voices Carry for Animals podcast, and you're in, okay? And it is awesome in this chat room. I want to thank all of you for joining in the chat room. And you can also share from this chat room, this live studio chat, and everything. From there, keep pressing the likes. It builds this show up. We only got after this evening. I have four more shows, and then May 14th I had to say goodbye to Podbean, and then my host website will be up until June the 18th. Okay, so if you want to visit that, and that's Voices Carry for Animals .podbean.com, and follow, subscribe. You have to put some account information in there, and all the former on-demand episodes on that also. And also on podserve.fm, Animal Advocates Radio. You can follow on there. That's where I'm gonna keep that site. And Tyler, big shout out to him. He's been helping me along since last year, randomly to help me through, getting it all out there. Because on Blog Talk Radio, it was a walk in the park compared to what's going on here, this modern technology. Excuse me. But anyway, all these shows are recorded live. And I said, Genevieve is in the chat room. Hi, Genevieve, and welcome back to Voices Carry for Animals podcast. If you press the phone icon or mic icon in the lower right hand of your screen, that will alert me you want to come on air, okay? And if you can hear me, there we go. Okay, I think you got it, and you're coming in. You are live now. You're live and on the air. How are you, Genevieve?
My name is pronounced Genevieve.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Say that again. I'm sorry, Geneva.
It's Genevieve.
Genevieve. Okay, that's a pretty name. I like that.
Well, thank you.
Yes. But welcome back. I know the last show I looked, and you was on Voices Carry for Animals, number 359, the show, on Blog Talk Radio. And I had all those shows, and I could even send you that one, and listen to it, because it was. I remember it was a great show. It was very. What you're doing is so heartfelt and uplifting, So keep it up, because we need you, with these the homeless out there. It's so sad to even hear me too, and along with their pets, and what you're doing is a positive impact in there. But you want to go ahead and everyone, we're going to be speaking on air tonight about because she's the founder of the. Hold on one second here. I got to get closer to the. But she is the she is the founder and president of Feeding Pets of the Homeless, and it's so awesome what you're doing. But you want to go ahead and tell the audience, and because we're going to be talking how to get help for your pets that belong to people experiencing homelessness in their 5 programs. But welcome back. This is awesome. Go
Thank
right
you.
ahead.
Yeah,
Yes.
we've grown so much since I last spoke with your audience. We are in 50 states, including DC. We now have over 2,000 hospitals that have worked with us in the past, and we're always adding new hospitals. When somebody goes on our website and needs emergency veterinary care because their animal is injured or ill, there is an application online now. The reason that we had to do that is there's a time difference between the East Coast and the West Coast, and we were missing a lot of pets that we wanted to help because of that time difference. So now there's a application online that we ask people to fill out, and then we get to them ASAP. As soon as I have 3 full-time case managers, and they talk to people every single day. They are looking at their applications, and once they are approved, then we call one of our hospitals. If it's in a city that we do not have a hospital, then our case managers cold call animal hospitals and get them to work with us. And the reason they want to work with us is we pay them at time of service. We ask them for a small discount because we are a nonprofit. We don't get any government funding whatsoever. So all of our donations and all of our programs are because of our supporters and our donors and private foundations and a few sponsors as well. But to get back to our 5 programs, the first program is, of course, feeding, and that's how I started this whole nonprofit. I saw somebody on the streets with their pet, and they obviously were homeless, and I needed to, I needed to find a way that I could help this person and their pet. So I came back to Nevada. That's where we're stationed, and I actually started researching to find out how many people experiencing homelessness have gone into homelessness with their pet, or they have somehow received that pet. It may have been a stray. It may have been a litter of puppies that were in a homeless encampment across the country. Anyway, so the pet food is donated by people in communities across the country. Those businesses then take that pet food to a local food bank where it is distributed to low income as well as the homeless. The reason that we do that is because SNAP benefits, which we all used to call food stamps, they don't allow people to purchase pet food. So it's very important that we have donations across the country that will agree to collect this pet food and then take it to those places for distribution. We have had, our donation sites have reported back to us that they have taken over 2.7 million pounds of pet food to various locations. Those locations are on our website. So if your listeners, would like to go to our website, it is petsofthehomeless.org. There they can find where to donate pet food, where to get pet food, where there is a homeless shelter that will allow their pets, as well as other resources. So once we get an application for somebody that has an injured or ill pet, then we work with the hospital, we set up an appointment, and I can tell you that we have treated medically over 12,000 pets. Now, we also have another program, and it's wellness clinics that we sponsor across the country. And we ask veterinarians to go out to where the homeless congregate and do a basic exam and do vaccinations for dogs and cats. So with those numbers, we have over 18,000 pets that have gone through one of our wellness clinics. So that's a total of over 30,000 pets that we have treated medically. So that is so now I've kind of described the second program, which was the third program, excuse me. So I've done the food, the emergency care, the wellness clinic, and then we will drop ship metal crates to collapsible to homeless shelters and domestic violence shelters so that pets and their humans can stay together. There's another program that is pretty recent. We've always helped homeless veterans with their pets, to help them get food, to help them get into some kind of shelter. But now we have a memorandum of understanding with the VA that says now their social workers are going to call us when they're working with a veteran who's going to go into a program for either a physical disabled program, mental or addiction kind of a program. And they will pay for part of a permanent residence for that veteran to get them off the streets, so that we will then pay for vaccinations and spay and neuter if it's needed to get into that permanent housing. We also, while one of our emergency cases are at the hospital, we always ask the doctor to update vaccinations. And if the animal is going to be put under anesthesia, we will pay to have that animal spayed or neutered as well. To give you an example, last year in our emergency program, we spent at hospitals across the country $1,167,000, and that was after discounts. The average cost per pet that goes through this program is $721. Last year alone, we treated over 1,600 pets in this program. 85% of those pets were dogs, 15% were cats. Unfortunately, 5% of those animals had to be euthanized because of whatever the situation was, and this is what the doctor recommended. Last year, we helped over 1,400 people. Of those, 64% were women. And we also ask in our interview if they are a survivor of domestic violence, and 20% said yes. Statistically, women that are homeless, about 38% of them are survivors of domestic violence, and they've taken their pets with them, those that have a pet, to escape the abuse. 35% of our clients last year had a social worker, and a large percentage did have transportation, which brings me to tell your audience that 28% of our clients are actually living in a vehicle. We're reaching out to safe parking lots across the country, letting them know to please let the people in those vehicles know that if they are have an animal that's injured or ill, to go online and help them go online to fill out that application so that we can get that animal to the nearest clinic or hospitals. I can tell you that 8% last year were veterans. Of those, another 4% were working with the VA and getting out of homelessness, which is pretty amazing. So, over the years, I started this and I got my 501c3 in 2008. And so over the years, those statistics that I'm talking about, the 2.7 million pounds, that's from when I first started. And we have spent over $7 million just on veterinary care for pets across the country.
That is so awesome. I mean, so uplifting. Giving them hope to carry on, and that's what they need. Let them know all of us care, and do something, do our part, put a little love in our heart, and do our part, because they need us. I mean, nobody wants to be living on the street in their cars, and it's very difficult for them. And even if they got pets, and they want to take care of their pets, and they don't want to let them go, they're companions and everything. So
They're
and yeah, I mean
they're with their pets 24/7, and
yes,
that bond that they have with that pet and that human is so strong. Um, it's an amazing job that we do, and I am thankful for every day that we're allowed to do this. Our last year, the average time these folks were on the homeless was over 3 years. A lot of them are on waiting lists to get into some kind of HUD or Section 8 housing. And those waiting lists are years long. And so a lot of these folks, they don't go to the hospital because they don't know what to do with their pet. And it's a tragic thing that we are in a country that allows people to live on the streets, and how they have made it against the law. And these people, they have so many reasons why they are homeless. Most of our clients, I can tell you, 41% have identified themselves as disabled. I can tell you that 4% are over 65. We started seeing this increase of elderly becoming homeless because their Social Security or their pensions were not keeping up with real estate taxes, so their houses were going into foreclosure. They were now living in their car. Maybe they had enough money to be in a weekly motel for 1 or 2 weeks out of the month. I mean, there's so many reasons. And not only, you have the elderly, but you have the young. All those young kids that are aged out of foster care, 50% of them end up homeless.
whoa, this is just so sad and heartbreaking. Just hearing all this. I mean, it's because this high inflation nation that we're having, we're getting hit from every angle out there. Something's got to give.
Yep,
Gas just went up. Food is up. I mean, homeowners insurance is up. Property taxes, from every angle.
yep.
And even the food for the animals. I mean, you look at all this. Something's got to give somewhere, because it's out of control. It
It
needs,
is.
and I look at it and I said, I just read on the other day where the CEO of Shell gas station got a 60% increase in his salary in 2025. Whoa, that is
Yeah.
sickening. And then
I,
I did a search on with this gas. I said gas or CEOs of gas companies, and they do all the links because this is public information and everything. And you should see these CEO salaries. It looks
Yeah,
like a lot of profit before people going on. Let them have let us have the high gas prices while they enjoy their luxurious lifestyles. It's not right. It's greed in the first degree. Front lines.
I couldn't agree with you more. Believe me, I see this every day. We hear the anguish when these people, we get them on the phone. Some of them are crying, and then when they get their pet repaired by one of our doctors, their gratitude and the appreciation that they say back to us makes this so worthwhile. It is. I have so much empathy and compassion for these folks that have been forced out of their homes to live on the streets.
Mm. That is so sad, and it's what it's going to keep coming. There's more coming up the sidelines, and if something doesn't get done out there, all these CEOs, multi-millionaires and everything, they got to think of how they got there. Customers, employees, and
Yeah,
quit being so greedy. And that's telling it like it is. And
yeah,
think about us, because that's how they got there. If the customers quit buying, guess what happens? Then all of a sudden, employees they lay off employees, and then all of a sudden they're going to go down. I've seen it happen too many times.
yeah. It's that
Uh,
domino effect. It's that
yes,
domino effect. And if you can't afford gas, then you don't drive anywhere. So now, it is a domino effect, and it is so sad. It breaks my heart.
yeah, that breaks mine too, and it's so wrong to do. I mean, we got homeless people out there. I remember the song by Tina Turner. And may she rest in peace. But she had the song. It was a remake of the Beatles. Help me, it's about help me get my feet back on the ground. It is. She does it so beautiful. If you look that up on YouTube, and
Yeah.
so powerful and meaningful. And I said, wow, because she's one of my all-time favorites, the Queen of Rock and Roll.
Yeah.
Proud Mary,
Yes,
and I
yes.
still listen to that song.
Yes, yes.
Rest in peace, Tina Turner. And she'll always be my favorite. There's no replacement for the Queen of Rock and Roll. No, have you heard of any? Did they say here's the new Queen of Rock and Roll? No.
Oh,
so, so she will be the queen, alive or dead. She's my favorite, and she was. And when she passed away, it was in May. I think it was almost 3 years ago, and I had tears coming down my eyes because I used to learn how to dance from her, and I could mock her.
oh, that's
Yep,
wonderful.
yep. So yeah, it's called Yoko. Yeah, it's called Help. You look it up on YouTube, Tina Turner, and listen to it. You know what? You maybe use that song for your organization. I don't think they would mind because it's true. You know.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
on that line, I can tell you that we are working with a director and a producer out of Los Angeles that is in pre production to do a 90-minute documentary on the issue of homelessness and the issue of homeless with pets. They're interviewing many of our clients that we have helped in the past, and we're looking forward to being able to um, probably at the end of the year, it'll probably be finished. We just were talking to a composer that's going to be doing the music for this. And on our website, we now have a way that if people want to contribute to this, they could have their name as a credit on the film. So we're excited about that. We're always looking for money to make our programs and our indirect costs. It's, we we're not a volunteer organization. I have 11 staff members that work hard every single day, and they're not making what those CEOs are, and either am I can guarantee it. But anyway,
Well, you can find out as per personal, private information. I mean, public, not private. But
yeah.
that's inspiring news. And before the end of the year, when it comes out, I'm gonna put you back on air if you want to, and we'll and get it
Oh,
out there.
that,
The more exposure, the better. You got my
yeah.
support all the way.
Oh,
You
well,
know.
thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Our website has so much information. If people want to volunteer some way, there are numerous ways that they can volunteer in their communities. There are on the website that you can see all of our past tax returns, all of our past annual reports. We're very transparent. We are registered as a charity in every state that has that requirement. And that, of course, adds into that indirect cost of operating a nonprofit. So, yeah, but, to be a legal and a ethical nonprofit that collects money from supporters across the country, there's certain things that you have to do to remain ethical and legal, and that's one of them. And it's not a cheap endeavor, believe me.
Yeah, it's never cheap, if you look at it. And when you're doing this, you said by the beginning or 2027, right? It'll be released because I want to get with you
Yeah.
and get right when it gets released, and we'll do blast off. I'll be on this new
Okay.
I'll be on this new Riverside FM. I've been telling
That's
people, they
right.
say FM, you're on FM now, and I said no, it's on online radios because they think it's like the local channels and stuff. Psych. but yeah, we'll definitely get together, and it's almost the same setup as Podbean, so that's a plus right there.
Yeah. Well, good.
And yeah, because after it gets downloaded on Podbean, I got to check more in this. It gets downloaded, edited, and published. It's going to go out to 28 other podcast platforms and 2 YouTube channels, and that's including iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, Player.fm. There's a huge list. So I'm
Yeah.
happy about that. And because the more exposure out there, and that's, I'm starting from scratch, everybody. So I hope I have all of your support, ongoing support. Please don't ditch me, okay? Because we need to keep going. I cannot do this alone. So,
Right. And
yeah,
you have
yeah.
such wonderful guests that are animal welfare in that environment. It's important that the word gets out there. There's so many wonderful organizations, and we do collaborate with a lot of them. Excuse me.
You're right. You're all right.
A,
Go
a
ahead.
lot
You
of
okay?
them, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
A lot of organizations actually refer people to us because they don't they're not able to handle what the problem is for that person. So a lot of the organizations out there know who we are.
Oh yeah, and plus you're on Facebook and everything, and you've been on other podcasts too, and
Oh
this is
yeah.
great because I've had I mean I lost count on how many podcast hosts I've had on my show, and I will continue to because that's what you call teamwork. And I love that coast to coast, host to host, speaking out on air together for all our animal free friends in need and distress. That's teamwork. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
And all you're doing, you are amazing in your positive impact in this world, not a negative one. And all the hard work that you're doing to help all these homeless people and their pets. because it is very difficult living out there. It's very sad. And, there's different situations, the veterans, the elderly. We can't forget about them. We got to let them know we care.
Yeah.
We still care. Who are we as humanity if we continue to see the suffering of others? That's not humanity. Generosity, help out. Because it goes a long way. It doesn't cost nothing to be kind to someone or animals. So out there when and look, everyone, look where you're donating at, because there's some fraudsters out there, okay? And make sure they have a good reputation. Like, hey, this one right here we have on the show tonight, very high reputation, got great reputation. So we got to help each other out in this world, because money makes the world go round. And there's no sense of being a greed bully, right? That's what I call them. Greed bullies. It's all
uh,
about me and nothing else. And that's the sad part, because
yeah.
we're all on this crazy place called Earth temporarily. Let's make the best of it. There is no need for greed, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no need for it. And I wish some of them would just wake up and check it out. Check, the customers and the employees, how they got there. That's important. There, don't forget about us or forget about them, because
Yeah.
it's how they got to where they're at.
Yeah, if
So
people, walk in their shoes for a mile and see and hear their stories. I mean, there's people out there that have so many different stories of how they ended up. It could be a bankruptcy, it could be a divorce, it could be so many reasons. There's a lot of legal reasons why people end up being homeless. So it is. There's a lot of trauma and violence and abuse that happens. And to escape that, you have to be brave and know that and hope that there's people out there and organizations that can help. That you shouldn't have to be traumatized and abused. Yeah, a lot of our clients are mentally ill. A lot of them have addictions. But you know what? A lot of times that is out of their control. They can't control that. But they have a pet that loves them unconditionally. And that is the whole story of why we do this. Those pets mean so much.
oh yeah, that is their true companion, unconditional love. And you want to protect them too. And if anybody else out there helps out, hey, it's more coming in. And what over the years since I've had you on the air on Blog Talk Radio, Voices Carry for Animals number 359, I'll send that to you in an email, okay, so that you always have it if you want to place it on your website, your pages, because you can listen and share these shows 24/7, and you wouldn't believe how many downloads I have, from
Hmm.
all over the world, because you can listen in worldwide.
Yes.
So, and I love that, because not everybody is on any social media at the same time in days. So there's going to be so many of them that miss it. And this makes sure that you can go back and listen to it anytime, or if you come in late. So I'm glad they're all on demand episodes, and listen and share 24/7, 365 days a year. I was getting nervous, because I said, well, when I went from Blog Talk, I was on there 10.5 years, and they did have that call-in number. I got comfortable with that. So when I looked for a new one, I couldn't find one with a call-in number. So I had to go this route. I said, well, you know what? I'm gonna do some online classes and learn this this Podbean podcast app and player and web. So I got the YouTube videos and what they had on Podbean tutorials and instructions. Hey, and I did it. It didn't take overnight, but I did it. And
Good for
so,
you.
yeah, I don't give up. I'm relentless, okay? The
I
mama
am
bear
too.
is relentless. I am optimistic. Hey, you gotta keep going. You can't give up, because, you know, quitters never win and winners never quit. Okay, that's a true thing.
That is. I am not a quitter.
That's right, and neither am I. So we're on the same wavelength,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same
we
team.
are.
Yep, and we
Well,
won't give up. And look how since 2008, that's what 18 years, and
yeah,
that's amazing. And
yeah,
I know you're going to keep going, and you got to. And a big shout out to all your team that's helping you out too. Give them a shout out too, and I hope a lot of if they're listening this evening because I gave instructions on everywhere I post at on
uh-huh,
Facebook, Voices Care for Animals support group, and once Voices Care for Animals podcast, Facebook page, they're out there everywhere, and I get a lot of help of promoting it on X and Facebook and LinkedIn. And thank you to all of you. Big animal pages, I tag a lot. So it takes teamwork all the way. I can't do it by myself,
Oh
So,
yeah, I can't
yep,
either. Although
no,
I started this in a bedroom in my house,
you did. Wow, that is amazing.
and
Yes.
now we're in a 5,000 square foot building.
Oh, see, I mean, you went right up the ladder from a
Yep,
bedroom to, oh my, 5,000 feet. That is so inspiring from where you, and it just from the last time I talked to you,
yeah.
it didn't go downhill or nothing. It went uphill.
Oh,
Totally.
the need just keeps increasing, and so I try everything I can. The podcasts, the newsletter, the conferences that we go to, the expos where it's a pet related. So we're getting out there as much as we can so that people understand what we do, and hopefully they want to support us. That's the only way we're able to keep this going.
That's right. The support, and everybody go check out their Facebook page and go there and press follow and see how you can help out. Even share it, share for the mama bear. Okay, because that's what I see that a lot. Because it means a lot. Don't press like or love or
Yeah,
whatever. That don't serve no justice. Okay, it doesn't get out there. When you press that share, it goes into the news feed on every one of the social media. And recruit more in. Hey, two people might ignore it, and then the next three might do something. They'll come on, going
true,
viral. So
true.
that means a lot right there. Don't be afraid to push that share button because it's not going to break your finger or spring or anything. It doesn't
I
get any easier than we help them make changes at the
Yeah,
comfort of your own home, your computer, laptop, phone. If you have a fax, I mean it's right there and
yeah.
right in your own home. It can't get no easier. I can't even think because I'll pull up like four tabs, especially when I'm sharing the show, copy and paste over here and there. I go so fast that makes my head spin. I've gotten so good. Yep,
Well, getting back to our social media and our newsletter, we actually at least twice a week, maybe it's once a week, that we on our Facebook page we do a story about one of the pets that we have treated, and it usually has a picture. In fact, it always does. And then on our newsletter, we always have a story that about a person and their pet that we helped. So if it will give people a better, broader picture of homelessness and the the kinds of injuries and illnesses that these pets have because they're out on the streets. It is so dangerous. And, when I say that 62% of our clients are women, people are shocked by that because
mm,
women stay in the shadows. It is so dangerous out there. And that's why so many of them have a pet, a dog especially, because even the smallest little yappiest dog is going to protect their owner. and alert them to any danger. If somebody's getting too close, if somebody's going to try to take their stuff, whatever they have in their car or in their their grocery basket. So these pets protect them as well as offer comfort and companionship. They actually protect them. We've had cases where dogs have been shot, stabbed, because they're
Oh
trying to
no.
protect. They're trying to protect their owner. This is their life. This is their family. And if somebody gets too close, that's not supposed to. And there are some bad people out there.
Oh yeah, I mean it's terrible. The crime rate is unbelievable. You know what they need to do, like El Salvador, their crime rate way down. I don't know if you've seen their prison or not, but it holds 40,000 inmates, and with them MS-13 gangs and everything, their crime went way down. What they need to do over here is say, okay, we got your one-way ticket to El Salvador prison, and I bet you it goes way down in the United States, because you should see this thing. I mean, it's unbelievable. They don't get none freedom, and I looked at it and I was like, whoa, our prisons over here look like a luxury hotel compared to that, okay?
I'm sure. Although the detention centers that we have here that they are stuffing immigrants into, whether they are true immigrants or not, those are pretty gnarly, pretty nasty places.
Whoa. And I look and I say, with all this crime, we have to watch our backs from every angle, and can you imagine living on the street? That's got to be so scary because
Oh,
we're living in a very scary world with very scary people, okay? And
yeah.
there's no excuses for it. We just want to, like I said, we live on this crazy place called Earth only temporarily. We got to make the best of it and do what's right out there and help protect these animals and these elderly, the veterans, all of us, because if we don't speak out, hey, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. Being silent is no solution for change. Period. Because if you look the other way, hey, guess you expect no changes to be made. Because everyone's voice out there matters. Your actions matter. What you do to help improve anything out there, whatever the case may be. Don't be silent because your voice and actions is so very important.
That's
You know,
so true. So true.
and be a part of the solutions, not the ongoing problems, because problems will not disappear unless we get involved. Change don't happen overnight, but at least we can help make the changes. It may take some time, but we want to see them victories and positive changes come through. That's what I got this podcast for, because I can't change anything. I'm a host, producer, whatever, and I can't change nothing. But hey, it takes a village, thousands more like me. How we take that action and let our voices be heard. That's when you're going to do the happy dance when you see the victories come in and the positive changes. Strength in numbers. You're right, Lisa, and welcome. I'm so glad you're in here. She just had surgery on her hand and everything. I hope everything. You must be getting better. You're in here, or you're like Mama Cat, and she'll call in from the recovery room, ICU, doctor's offices. Hey, Mama Cat, you got some competition there. She just had surgery
Oh,
yesterday.
wow.
Yeah, but Michelle, where you at? I hope I see you coming in. That's another animal warrior sister. I got a super team going on. That's where it's at. Inspiring each other, taking that action, helping each other out. That's teamwork, super teamwork, and I love it. Yep.
Well, you know what? If any of your listeners have any questions for my staff or myself, there is a contact on our website where they can ask any kind of questions. They may know of their own veterinarian hospital that may want to be a part of our group, that part of our 2,000 other hospitals that work with us. Maybe they know a business that would like to become a donation site. Just send us an email on our contact and we will follow up, I promise.
Awesome. Yes. And are you ready to take any calls right now from any of the listeners? And thank you all in
Sure.
the chat room for tuning in and being here and on the Podbean podcast web. And so glad to join you. I mean, this podcast, you get alerted when the episode is done, when I get published. And also every Thursday, it will alert you on your phone, your laptop, your iPad, your tablet. The live cast is starting up, and you press join, and you're right into the chat room. So if anybody wants to speak, I just got to just press that phone icon or mic icon in the lower right hand of your screen to alert me you want to come on air, okay? And any comments or questions, and try to refrain from any noises in the background, radios, TVs, conversations, and you're more than welcome to speak, okay? Because this will pick up all noises and everything. But if you're ready to come on air, just alert me because I'm looking at the screen right now, and this is another great show. Wow, so I mean, so meaningful and heartfelt, and keep it up. And all your supporters out there, what you're doing. Everyone, check out the website, and also, yeah, give your website out again, and also the Facebook page. Anywhere you have, if it's on YouTube, and that because this is going to get out there. After the show gets published, so I want to give them all the information I can to get connected to you. Okay, but go right ahead. We'll give that
Oh,
again.
okay. The website is petsofthehomeless.org. Once you get to that home page, on the bottom is all of our links for social media, Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and TikTok. On our YouTube channel, you can see us in action at various wellness clinics. Um, and our video guy is just amazing what he does and how he edits these. We interview some of the clients that have stood in line for hours to see the doctors to get their animal a free basic exam and vaccinations. Some of our wellness clinics, we partner with other groups in that town. We will partner with the local animal control that issues dog licenses, and they'll give them out free. We'll partner with other organizations that are very pro spay and neuter, and they will give out vouchers for free spay and neuters. What they don't pay, we will pick up the balance on that. So yeah, look at our YouTube channel, and it's listed. The link is on the bottom of our website. Again, that's petsofthehomeless.org.
Oh, that's awesome. And I'll go over to YouTube also, and maybe I'm subscribed, but I'm going to double check on that, okay?
Yeah.
Because yeah, and share it. That's the main thing. Get more subscribers. The more, the better, because that's what you call teamwork. Don't be afraid to press that share button. It's not going to break your finger or spine. And like I said, it's not going to hurt it any. It's not too much stress on it. I do it all the time. Hey, every effort counts out there. So, but does anybody want to speak on air? It's got. I'm probably going to close about 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. So, but press that phone icon or mic icon in the lower right hand of your phone, your laptop, your iPad, or tablet to alert me you want to come on air. And if
May
you're
my name is
listening, hey, there she is. There's the mama cat. She has been a former guest many times, okay, and helped me out so much. And she's just so wonderful to have because we've become so close. So what, since 2018 or 2019? And she's such a great help and a great team player, former guest, and she's helped me out so much. But Mama Cat, I can't thank you enough, and I'll continue to thank you for all your ongoing support, all of you. It means so much to me. Keep inspires me to keep going. That's what it takes. But go ahead, Mama Cat. Meow.
Yeah. Oh, well, Genevieve, I just want to say hats off to you for the amazing work that you are doing helping the homeless and their pets. I started a similar program here in Colorado Springs, and we have a lot of homeless. And what I saw was that people are so quick to judge the homeless, and they were turning the homeless in for neglect and different things on their pets, saying that, they didn't deserve to have these animals if they couldn't afford to take care of them. And they were just harassing these people nonstop and trying to get bills passed within the city, through the city council meetings, to go in and take these people's pets away from them. And I mean, there was a lot of us that stood up for him. There was many more, which really broke my heart. Many more people that wanted these animals taken from the homeless people than were standing up for them. And when I stood up to speak at one of the city council meetings, some lady said, "This is the one who's going around handing out food." And I told her, "You damn right I am. That's what we do. That's what people do. We don't kick somebody when they're down. We help lift them up. And if all it takes is a bag of damn dog food or cat food, what is wrong with people? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
these people, some of these animals are the only thing that keep these people going. The only reason they've got left, you know? And you
Yeah.
start taking
Agreed.
these animals away from them, it's no different than coming into your home and taking your cat, dog, chicken, fish, snake, bird, whatever. It's the same thing. They love these animals, and it was just circumstances that, most of them, not all of them, but circumstances that came into their life and things happened. There's not a single person on this planet that cannot tell me that at one point in their life they didn't need help. Maybe they didn't need help getting off the street, but they needed help somewhere. And hats off to you for all the work you're doing to help these people.
Thank you.
Oh yeah,
I
amazing.
I
Yes.
appreciate your comments. I really do. I wanted to make one point. With these animals that are with their humans 24/7, the separation anxiety that both the human and the pet suffer when that pet's taken away, it's catastrophic for both of
Yeah,
them.
I agree.
Yes, it
And
is.
for what reason? To put them in a shelter for what? So I don't get it. These people need something, and if you're not there to help them, just get the hell out of my way so we can.
You
That's
know, a
that's
lot
my
of these
philosophy.
I think a lot of these people have never felt that bond with an animal, and that's why they don't get it. They just don't get it in their heart, their brain, that this animal is so important to these people. Why would you rip that out of their hands? It would be like ripping out a child, a baby, out of your arms.
Right?
Right, exactly. I mean, you put it right there. They're so. I mean, they're unconditional love, and we got to help them get their feet back on the ground because and give them hope to carry on. Go in their shoes. You would not like living on the streets, I guaranteed, or in your car.
Yeah.
Period. No, none of us would.
And
And then
the weather here is not summer. I'm in Colorado. It gets cold here. And
Yeah.
these people are living on the street, and the city council and a lot of residents are going after the homeless. You can't leave them here. They can't live there. They can't do this. They can't camp along the creek. I mean, they have to be able to go somewhere, you know, and I
Right.
don't know what the answer is, but I know taking their animals away from them is not the answer.
I think that's why a
No.
lot of them are so transient because they are not welcomed or they are shunned so much that they just keep moving on to the next town, the next city, hoping that there's services there that will help them. So, yeah, we hear this all the time, and it's very hard. They are very transient. A lot of them don't have phones anyway to communicate. It's but it is what it is, and all of us that are animal advocates, and I'm a homeless advocate as well, because once I got into this and I saw what was happening, we actually know now that we have a social worker that is a professor in New Mexico, and he has said that they now estimate that 33% of homeless have a pet.
Yeah.
33%. Wow, that's high. I mean, and then just think, if it wasn't for them, where else would they be so down and depressed and given, you got to give hope to the hopeless, you know, and
And a
and
lot of them are veterans.
yeah, and look,
Oh yeah.
they fought for our country, and now they're living on the street. I mean, what is going on here?
Well,
You
and
know,
we
they,
have programs to help the homeless, but we don't have many programs to help them with their animals. There are no shelters that I'm aware of here in our town that allow pets.
You know what? You could go to those shelters and tell them if they want to help those people with pets, all they have to do is contact us and we will ship them metal crates that they can use. It becomes the property of the shelter, whether it's a domestic violence shelter or a homeless shelter. It could be a day shelter where a warming shelter. As long as those pets and those people can stay together, that's the important thing. So, yeah, if you're in a town that does not, and on our website, it doesn't show your town having a shelter that that allows pets, go to that shelter or call that shelter and say, there's an organization out here that will ship you new metal crates so that those people with pets have some place to go.
that's
I may
awesome.
I may have
Wow.
to reach out to you, Genevieve, and do a little bit more discussion on that because I don't know if that would work here. Their stance was that it's a liability issue if someone were to get bit or scratched or sick, or they don't have any way of knowing if these animals are up to date on their shots. I mean, they
Yeah.
have a lot of excuses.
Yeah, that is so true. That's so true. But that's the whole purpose of those crates. That pet is now secure. It's not going to bite anybody. And it's, you know, uh, so yeah, there's a lot of excuses out there. But,
A lot.
on the other end of that spectrum, so many shelters are so overcrowded. And this is a segment of that population that they can turn away. They can say, we don't allow pets because there's so many other people in line to get into that shelter every night.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a sad thing. There's just not enough homeless shelters. And a lot of those homeless shelters are dangerous.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Oh yeah. And look at how the life they got to live. I mean, just going out there and what their challenges are. I mean, they're not positive challenges out there. What's going on in this world.
Yeah.
So, and they need to treat them more with these homeless people more with dignity and respect. Do more for them. We're the United States of America. Help them out because they need it. They need it bad.
Hear
You
their
know.
stories. Hear
Whoa.
their stories so that they can help them. Whatever their issue is, there are people out there that do want to help them. There are so many social workers that we work with as well. We have these little business cards so that they can give them to a client, and they can put that in their wallet. So if they need pet food, if their animal gets injured or ill. So social workers, police officers, first responders, we try to give them these cards so that when they see a situation where an animal has injured or ill, they know how to get help.
Right. Lead them in the right direction. Guidance. You know. Give them hope to carry on for them and their pets because it's never easy. And
No.
once you show them that you care, hey, we're going to lead you the right way, and they'll be, it'll pick them up in their spirits and their, you know, and give them that hope. Give hope to
Right.
the hopeless, okay?
And
And
if
don't
they
give
know
up.
there's help, maybe they'll, go to the shelters. A lot of them won't go to the shelters just because they can't bring their pets, you know.
Yep,
Exactly.
yep.
Exactly. That's one of the reasons years ago that I decided that I needed to start supplying them with crates so that they could. Um, there's, there's so many domestic violence shelters out there that don't allow pets, and that's why so many of these women are staying on the streets.
Right.
And they could be getting help if these organizations, these shelters would allow those pets. And that's one of the other, the second reason why we do this is so that they can get that help. If they get into a shelter or a domestic violence shelter, there's usually somebody there, a social worker or somebody that can help them with whatever the situation is for that person. Maybe they're trying to get disability, but they don't have they lost their social security card somewhere. There's people out there that will help them.
Oh yeah, somebody's got to help them, because they can't live the rest of their lives like that, and it's sad and it's heartbreaking. Give them a second chance. Give them that big H word, hope. To carry on
Yeah,
because
yeah,
that's what they need. They need encouragement and inspire them. Hey, just get help from here, and more of these homeless shelters. Allow the pets in there. It's not that difficult because I know in the winter months, look how cold it gets up north and everything,
yeah,
and living on the streets and because that I mean they open them up, but it's like whoa. There's still homeless animals out there and humans that's living on the street that won't go into them. So we got to do something. And I put, everybody out there, all the listeners, please, share their Facebook page, their YouTubes, their website, how you can help out. Spread the word because that's how when it goes in the news feed, I don't care if it's X or Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you put it, bring some attention, add some words. They need your help. We got to work on the solutions, not the ongoing problems, because these animal shelters are also on overcapacity. I know you probably heard that, where because of this inflation, they're surrendering their pets left and right because they can't afford them. The vet bills, the food, and it's just all the way around, and it's not right. I was in there with Sugar Bear, and I put my bet right on the spot. I said, "You don't poke the bear, okay?" I said, "These prices are outrageous. The pet food when you go into the vet's office, the surgeries. I mean, pet insurance is all skyrocketed. Even the worker there was telling me, she goes, I can't believe how much the prices rose since last year. This is
yeah.
not right."
Yeah.
And I told the vet, I said, listen, I said, did you know about all this over, capacity in the shelters in the USA? They're getting euthanized left and right, and it's sad. All ages too, healthy adoptable animals. And I said, something's got to give here. All this greed needs to stop. It's profit before animals in the first degree in front lines. So he didn't know what to say because he's the owner too of three of them. I said, I'm telling you up front. I said because it's not only affecting what I'm saying, but a lot of people out there. What's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah.
It's not just a few; it's massive. Where they give up their pets because they can't afford them anymore. I
Right.
see, and that's a sad part, because the animals they're living at home, in a TLC home, and all of a sudden they got to go live in a shelter, because their mommy and daddy can't afford them no more, and that's a sad situation. And then you tell all these ones that's making it multimillionaires, billionaires, hey, look at all these issues here. Come off down that big high cloud you're on and come down and help out, not ignore it, you know, because it's really happening. This is the truth and reality of it
Yeah.
all,
Yep.
and that's what we got to work on, all of us. Make your voice heard. Hey, call your representatives. 202-224-3121. Give them your zip code, and they'll lead. This is a nationwide number, and then give your zip code, and they'll lead you right to your representative or senators. Let your voice be heard. Be professional and polite, but or even email them because you're not going to get anywhere with being irate or obnoxious. Treat them with dignity and respect. Let your voice be heard because this inflation in this United States is out of control from every angle. And it's leading more people to homelessness, veterans, elderly, with children living in their cars. It's got to give somewhere. You can't take the money with you when you die, or can you? You know,
I don't think so.
they're not going to knock on on the tombstones. Go, yo, I got you some more money.
I'll
you
take
know,
my money, but
or
this is the
it's not happening. It ends. The end. You know, no more money. Okay, you can't. You can reach in there and say, "Okay, I got you another million." No, it's not happening. The end. So they got to come over that big high horse they're on and start thinking about us, all of us down here. That's how they got there. Employees, customers, audiences, you name it. And there's no sugarcoating it with me. Okay, no beating around the bush or nothing like that. It's truth and reality. What's going on here? More people's heading to homelessness. This is not good. More veterans fighting for our country, and then they end up on the streets. What's wrong with this picture too? What's wrong with the elderly? They work hard all their life. They end up homeless, and they're either their last years or days. That's no way to get out of here. It's supposed to be golden years, not golden nightmares. Okay,
Yeah.
right?
and
Think about it, and a lot of them are going through that, and it's
and
Oh,
sad.
yeah.
people need
Yeah,
to realize what they're saying because most people are only one or two paychecks from being homeless themselves.
Oh,
that's.
absolutely.
Oh yeah,
You
I'm
know,
glad you brought that up because that is so true.
they might feel
Struggling.
different when it's them on the streets.
That's right. Yep. Yep, and then or Lisa just put 1,500 to 2,500 pets are euthanized daily just in the United States. Isn't that disgusting? I mean, it's like what? Because up to a million a year in the United States getting euthanized, all ages. Put down overcrowding.
And we're supposedly
Max.
a civilized country.
Exactly. So what's wrong with this picture?
Yeah.
You know, call your reps. Say we got to do some more about it. And plus, on our side, spay and neuter your pets. Adopt, don't shop. Go visit your new furry loved one or loved ones to your nearest animal shelter and talk to them. Say, hey, can we do more about helping these homeless with their pets? See
Yeah.
what they say, and then because that's a start right there. We're not
Yeah.
going to give up.
Be a volunteer with my organization.
Yeah, see, there you go. Volunteer. That's meaningful work too. And I also volunteer on this podcast. I don't get paid a dime. Okay, I produce it, I host it. I mean, schedule it, everything. And I got to pay them to come on this, network, and I don't mind. Yeah, and I've been doing that for the last almost 12 years. I mean,
Oh,
I'm
wow.
retired, and I'm glad I'm retired, but still, it's like I volunteer and I'm doing something positive impact. I'm not going to sit on the watch TV all day. You know what I mean? I got to do something that's going to be positive in this world for everyone
Good for
because
you.
yep, I do have a
I
heart and everything. Yep. Go ahead.
I really appreciate you having me on the show. You are just a caring, wonderful woman that I appreciate. And I am very gratified to be able to tell my story.
Yes, and I
We're
appreciate
glad
it. And
you did it.
you're so truly welcome. I mean, you're welcome back anytime. Hey, what Mama Cat says, she says once you get in here, you're locked in. You can't get out.
You're part
I
of the
like that,
family
Mama Cat.
now. You're part of the family now. You can't leave.
That's right. The part of the voices carried for animals family. Okay, we're all animal warrior brothers and sisters, and we're going to stick together always. We can't give up. You can't give in and not look the other way. Yep. So, yeah, and you know what, Mama Cat, I wanted to bring this up, Mama Cat, about you taking care of was it 95 colony cats out there in Colorado? Make sure
Yep.
they're warm in the winter time. She was up at one time at 125 of them, and when they see her coming with that food and water and everything, they give her a standing ovation. Yep, that's and because they see her, they say, "Hey, all right, here she comes."
I'm
and
taking care of some extra colonies for the next 2 weeks. So I'm doing my 7 plus her 5. So I'm probably over 200 cats for 2 weeks.
Wow. And you're amazing. You know that heart of gold. She got raccoons. She's Mama Raccoon that she takes care of on her property. And plus, and the dog inside, her furry love was so adorable. I mean, and her grandkids, she taught them young to, hey, well, that's when you start teaching them young to treat animals with dignity and respect. They go through their adulthood, her doing the same. I mean, look at all of us. We're not animal abusers. No way. I could never do that. But we have to protect them and be their voice because they don't have a voice. They're helpless, defenseless, innocent, and we have to be their voice. Just like the children and the elderly. Without us, they don't stand a chance. And we have to be there for them. Because this is a crazy world out there we're living in. We can't say it isn't. A lot of unnecessary stuff's going on. Too many nut jobs out there, okay? I'll put it plain and simple. That's why I'm always the UMB, Uncover Mama Bear. Or the Invisible Mama Bear. I have this shirt that says "Don't mess with Mama Bear," right? And I wore it into the dentist a couple of weeks ago, and they were bent over laughing because they call me Mama Bear. Been going there like 12 years or 13, and that's my nickname there. So they got a big bag out of it. And Mama Bear slippers. But I've got and everybody go Mama Bear, MB. Yep, I love it. And Big Buford is in the house.
The photo bomber.
And that's a photo bomber right there. Yeah. And he loves taking selfies. He's my BFF, best furry friend. Thanks for bringing him in. But your grandkids, Skylar and Allie, they back, was that 2018? They
Yep.
were guests with
I'm
you.
excited. Yep.
And yeah, they were 10 and 12, and her grandson, he was taking calls. It was amazing, and they help her, with these cats and stuff. I think it's awesome.
They made
So
videos of trapping cats, teaching people how to do it. And it's so funny because Allie was like 8 years old at the time, and she was just so articulate. You open the can and you have to be careful because the edges are really sharp and you don't want to put that in the cage. And I mean, she went on and on and on about every little thing. And when it was done and I posted it, I was like, if an 8-year-old child is willing to and can do this, there is no excuse for an adult not being able to do it.
that's
An
right.
8-year-old can do it. You can do it too.
That's right. Anybody can put your mind to it and do it. You know, it's nothing. And you get on a routine. With your pets at home, you get on a routine. It's not that difficult at all.
Yeah.
Give them the love and care and attention they need. Spend time with them. That's what they love. I know the two cats and the dog in this household. They're spoiled rotten, and that's the way they should be. And you can tell they're happy too because Sugar Bear was adopted. Came in as a stray Alaskan Malamute, and I said, "You never." And the shelter said that they think that she got, abandoned because she had puppies. And I was like, "Oh no." I said, "Why are there so many cruel people in this world?" You know, Victor came in. His owner turned him into a shelter because they had stage 4 lung cancer, and you could tell he wasn't, abused or anything, but he's in a new home, so you want to make him feel comfortable, and feel loved and cared for. And Liberty, she came in off the streets. She was living on the streets as a kitten. So I told them all, you never have to worry about any of that ever again. You're in here till death do us part. You got a permanent home, right?
Yep.
That's what you do
Yep.
because they don't want to go back to a shelter.
No.
That's not no place. It's they're safe, but it's no life for them. It's not a TLC home. It's not the attention they get and stuff. And just can you imagine them living on the street, homeless, with their mommy or daddy out there, or living in a car? Oh my goodness. I could
And we're
just
getting
imagine. It's got to be horrifying.
we're getting
Yep.
down to 23 degrees tonight.
Are you serious?
Yeah. For the next two
Oh,
days, it's going to be really cold and snow/rain, so it'll be freezing. And so I went and checked
wow.
all the houses today. And the other lady, I mean, I don't want to bash somebody else's way of doing it, but all her houses were empty. So I went and got extra straw and stuffed all of her houses full of straw today. Because it's, 23, that's cold.
Yeah, freezing.
Yeah.
Wow. And you know what? I don't want to be bragging, but I'm sitting on the patio in here in Florida. Go live on live stream. You better get the next airplane to fly out and come down here.
I had to go put boxes over the top of all my lawns that are already like a foot and a half tall.
Oh my goodness, 23. It came down to what, 28 one time. It was freezing then, even 40. Freaking out. I was like, I thought this was supposed to be the Sunshine State. Yeah, right. That's a joke.
It
We
was
do have
shining somewhere in Florida.
What's that? I'm sorry, I was laughing.
Said the sun was shining somewhere in Florida, just not by your house.
So, yep, going live stream from the patio on Podbean. Podbean. They can't get no better than this. You know that? I hope I can go on the patio on. It's going to get too hot here next month on up to probably November. Where we breathe or something, humidity. You know. So I'll
Oh,
figure
I
out a
don't have
way
that
though.
problem here.
Oh, it gets terrible because it's not paradise anywhere. Some happens somewhere. Too cold, too hot, tornadoes, hurricanes, floods, earthquakes. Nowhere is perfect. Snow, ice. Oh my goodness.
Sounds like the
Wow.
Goldilocks show. It's too hot. No, it's too cold. No, it's just right.
Yeah, you stay bundled up and everything. You know, be
Oh
safe.
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm
Oh,
gonna send you.
weather's fine. I'll be good.
I'm gonna send you some more snowballs where they throw them out in GIFs. Snowmen. So I call her Snow Woman and Snowman.
I'm just bumming because my apple tree is all in bloom right now. And 3 years in a row, I have not got any apples on my apple tree because right as they bloom, we get a damn frost, a hard freeze, and then that's it. Nothing grows after that. Once those flowers are froze off, that's it. So I'm hoping I
Yep.
get some apples this year because the deer are really upset with me not having apples for them.
Oh yeah. Yep. It'll be getting there soon. Well, here comes May. I can't believe it's already April already. You know, I mean, it's like April. What? April 16th? Where did the rest of the year go? But
We've been on
anyway,
Podbean.
the Podbean Queen is disappearing.
That's right.
Uh-oh.
It's gonna be a meteor. Debbie's getting a booty again. Oh
the
yeah.
pod, hey, the pod bean or the kidney bean or the baked bean.
Lima bean.
Uh,
We do have some laughs on there, you know, break the monotony because laughter kills stress. Comes
it's
up
human
and stabs
humor.
it. Yep, we got to have a. Okay, Law, did you want to speak? Because I'm going to be
Oh,
closing up here
yes.
soon.
Yes,
Go
and
ahead.
I agree on the pet population though. It is overcrowded though, the shelters.
Yes, it's very well known what's going on, and it's
Yes.
sad, you know,
And I used to
because
volunteer. I used to volunteer at the shelters over a decade ago, and I would go home crying because I wanted to adopt one.
Or all of them.
All of them, especially. Yeah, but just yeah, the money wasn't there, and like it is now. I mean,
Yeah.
but hi,
yep,
Genevieve. Greetings.
Hi.
that's aloha. Is
Yeah.
yes, he's another animal warrior sister. Thanks for joining us. It's great, you know, with everything,
Glad to
with all
help
you in
out.
this live chat room. I love it. The studio chat room. Well, the next one has one too, so we'll just continue on from there.
I
Because
can't wait to hear it.
oh, you're going to love it, and I got some good guests coming on. I've got them lined up. Born Free USA, Animal Defenders International, all these great guests, all of them, even you. I mean, it's just amazing. Isn't that something?
Yes, indeed.
And so it's going to be hopping. I'm going to make sure of it. So I have to give him my pod being queen crown
I love
and
that
pass it to
phrase.
somewhere else.
Pod Green Queen. I love that phrase.
Hey Michelle, hey Michelle, and Warrior sister. See, LOL. I know she liked that, or everybody did. Yep. But it's gonna be great because once it gets started, I'm taking 3 weeks off to get everything together because I'm changing to Animal Warrior Radio. How's
Three
that?
weeks
I had
off.
Animal Ad. Yep.
No.
That sounds catchy.
Oh yeah, it's catchy. And Animal Advocates Radio will be changed. Everyone to Animal Warrior Radio. I had the Animal Advocates Radio for what 8 years now, and before that it was TS Radio Network. Voices came from on Marty Oakley's, so that was like 4.5 years where it was, you know. And then she passed away April 1st of 2023, you know, and it was very sad because she's the one that got me started. You know, she turned me into a podcast monster. So may she rest in peace. You know, so but I'll never forget her. I just had a tribute to her, and it's on archive. You know, on demand, and it was a great tribute to her. You know, and it was so sad when she left because she had so many shows for different topics and everything. And her voice carries on because her hosts are still going, three of them on her shows, so that's a plus. Her voice carries on, you know, and she is sadly missed. So,
Mm.
well,
Rest in peace,
but
Marty Oakley.
yep.
She
And there's
left a huge mark on the world, that's for sure.
oh yeah, yeah, because you was there, wasn't you,
Oh
Mama Cat?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I thought you was. It was a great tribute. I mean, it was 2 hours long, and all her, three guests or not host was on there, and another co-host, and it was rocking. I'll tell you, it was a beautiful tribute to her, and she so well deserves. We can't forget her. Gone, but will never be forgotten. She is the grassroots of Voices Care for Animals podcast.
Hmm.
And when she made me her host, and I said, "Wow," because I didn't know I would be going this long with it, and I'm so glad I have. You're looking at 12 years at the end of June on air, so I'm going to keep it up. We'll keep it up because I'm not going to go nowhere.
You ain't going
My,
nowhere.
nope. Yep. So the Mama Bear will be back on the air on Riverside.fm. And Mama Cat, there's so many of us thinking it's local channel. Yeah. And I said, no, it's online radio, internet radio, which is still good because I've been looking at them. They got a great reputation, so that's a plus. You know, watch out, Riverside.fm. Here I come. Here comes the Mama Bear.
I downloaded the app the other day, so I'm ready, baby.
Oh yeah. Yep. Now, once you see this live studio chat, I'll make it a surprise to everybody. Put it this way, it is nicer. Okay, upgrade, top notch. I won't say nothing else. A good
Don't tell
surprise.
them. Don't tell
I'm gonna tell you. I don't care what it takes. I'm not telling you. I'm gonna keep you guessing. Right? Curiosity killed the cat. Okay, so don't.
I heard about or that phrase.
Yep.
them.
But anyway, does Aloha? Do you have any more, or Mama Cat, or anybody else wants to call in? You guys still have a chance. Lisa, you want to speak on air? Lisa, and I
Come
hope you're
on,
doing well.
Lisa.
Come on, come on down, Lisa or Michelle. Don't be shy, okay? Nobody sees you.
Come
You're
on, Michelle.
invisible.
We see you in there.
This is not TV.
Don't hide from us.
Come alive out there, okay? Yep. Yeah, but I do. I love doing this podcast, and I have been for the last 12 years.
It's
Almost
fun.
12 years. I get because all the great guests. I mean, amazing, wonderful callers. You name it, listeners, everybody that's helping me out to promote it. And I'm gonna have access to Fans of Animal Rights on Facebook. Everyone, that page, it has 355,000 followers. But I got to look for them because there's not that much activity going on. All right, so
Yeah.
please visit it. And I don't understand it. What's that sound?
That's
Someone's
Sounds
somebody
like
typing.
typing.
it's what?
Somebody typing.
I'm not typing. I hear somebody typing.
Oh my
So,
goodness, you caught me.
Oh, Genevieve.
Oh my goodness. Sorry.
No problem.
hey, you're a keyboard warrior. That's what I am because I'm moving my fingers on the keyboard. Keyboard warrior.
I
Trouble with
Animal warrior.
apologize.
Yep.
I apologize. I should have
You
turned
know,
my
hey.
mic off.
That was for real, Michelle. That was a real deal. The keyboard warrior, which is in
Uh,
the house. but I'm surprised nobody fell off the boat, Mama Cat, and I just ended up a life raft. You know, when
Nobody
somebody
fell
gets
in the water yet, so I'm good. I've got that little halfway.
You got me double on that one. You got Big Buford and
Well, we got to keep you on your toes, you know.
yeah, that's a good one, isn't it?
Who was
Oh
it
my
that was
goodness.
drowned and I threw the life raft to? I can't remember. I think
Who
it
was
was
about?
Lisa.
Oh, it was Lisa. It was last week. Remember,
I
we
think
couldn't hear
so.
her. She lost connection or something. And then I
Yep.
said, "Hey," she fell off the boat, and I got into her life raft. Yeah, it was you, Lisa. And then and the mama cat shows this photo in. It was hilarious.
Hello.
Hey, hello.
Hi, it's Lisa.
Hey,
Hi,
Lisa, how are
Lisa.
you?
I'm
Welcome,
doing
welcome,
well.
Lisa.
Please.
You're, you're doing well. Great on that
Yeah.
surgery yesterday. You surprised
T
me by being here tonight. I thought you'd be off, and I understand. But you're getting like Mama Cat.
Oh yeah,
But she
yeah.
pops
Well,
in on all different places. She has 9 lives. Yeah, go
this
ahead.
is my 24th surgery, so I'm pretty used to it.
Ah,
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I'm gonna be bionic pretty soon.
Bionic. The bionic woman.
I wanted to add that almost 2 years now I was homeless. Up 2 years ago, but only 4 months. But I had 11 cats at the time,
oh my.
and yeah, and I could only keep
Mm.
two of them. It was
Aw.
the choice.
Whoa.
Yeah, my mother.
Oh, she needs life raft again.
Oh, she needs a life raft. Where you at, Lisa? She fell off the boat. I can't believe this. All right, Mama Cat, when you putting it through the chat room, when are you going to do that? Lisa, can you hear me? Hello? Wait a minute, she got disconnected. Call back in. There it is. There it is. Oh my goodness. But hey, Lisa, if you can hear me, just hook back in. It'll just start all over again. Hold on. Yeah. Just hit that live link on Podbean app, and you scroll down there and you'll see Voices Care for Animals podcast, and you press that, and you'll be right in the chat room.
Who, me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Lisa?
yeah. Did
There
I
she
go
is.
out?
You
Yeah, you
did.
went out for a minute. We've sent you another. You fell off the boat. We just send you another raft.
Thank you. But
You're welcome.
I just wanted to add that
Yes,
when I had
please.
to give up the 9 cats, I'm still not over it. I don't think I will ever be over it.
I hear it
Uh,
in your voice.
yeah. Um, I can't look at pictures of any of them because the heartbreak is just so bad.
Yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
yeah, but I mean, and I worked with a housing. Uh, I had 2 jobs, a brand new car, and I was still homeless. And a lot of the people I met out there were families, and the husband and wife were working 2 jobs each, and they still couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Where
You
was
know,
And
that,
it's
they
sad.
Lisa?
the National Coalition on Homelessness estimates that 3.5 million Americans are homeless every year. And like you, they were in and out of it. They may only be there for a couple months or, maybe a few weeks, but to experience that, it is trauma.
Yes, I don't remember a lot of what happened during those 4 months. I think I blacked it out
Yeah,
um, to save, my sanity. So the thing that gets me the most is losing my animals because I don't have human children. They are my children.
sure,
Yep, that's
sure.
right.
So things need to change because I know if someone came in my home and tried to hurt one of my cats, I oh, good lord, don't you'll need to send me I don't know, a steel cage, never mind,
That's
because
Luke Cage.
I would be berserk.
Yep.
Are you are you
Well,
Sebastian?
Lisa, that was very brave of you to say that to the audience. I mean,
Yeah,
I have a lot of compassion for you, and I'm glad that you were able to get out of that cycle. It is
Thank
very
you.
hard to, once you get into that homeless cycle, it's very hard to get out unless you have a support group of family, friends, and luckily you were able to find a social worker, I think.
No, the job, one of the jobs I had at the time was I worked for a, a union in Massachusetts that helps public housing tenants.
Ah,
And and we worked hand in hand with the governor and no one helped me.
Whoa. What? What?
Yes, nobody helped me.
Oh,
No.
oh my
So,
goodness.
Lisa,
yeah.
You're a
no.
brave, brave woman.
so
I,
many
Oh.
places just treat the
Thank you.
homeless like crap. It's ridiculous. I don't
Mm.
understand it.
Yep. Yep. It is. And I ran into a lot of people that would say, "Well, majority of homeless people are on drugs." I said, "Do
Right.
you think
Or
I'm on
drunk.
drugs?" Yeah.
yeah.
"Do you think I'm on drugs or do I drink?" "No, you don't look it." I said, "Well, I'm homeless and I have a brand new car." I mean,
Mm.
so I mean, don't judge people by that. And
That's
not
right.
only that, a lot of doctors have made drug addicts because
Right.
out of all my surgeries, I could have been one easily.
Oh,
Me
yeah.
too.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Mm.
Yeah.
the whole picture needs to be looked at. You don't pick it apart for you to entertain yourself. It's a whole circle that needs to be looked at.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I
That's
agree.
right. It needs to be focused on and fixed. Let's
Yes,
not see if, hey, what's going on? We can't do nothing about the past, but we for sure can do something about the future. And it takes all
exactly.
of us to do it. Make that
Exactly.
brighter future for all of them, better lives and futures for them. They so well deserve. And you can't stereotype, say, "Oh, these homeless people are all on drugs." No, they're not. You can't say that because you don't know each and one of them individually. So how can they
Right.
make that accusation? No, they
Right.
can't. They don't know
And
their situations. They don't
and
even
people
know them.
people have to remember you're only a paycheck or two away from being homeless yourself.
Agreed.
That's
Oh
right.
boy. I would have
That's
never
right.
thought, never ever in a million. I had all the money I wanted. What it was I fought four of my past landlords in a row because they were trying to do illegal things. And I fought them in court and I won. So now nobody wants to rent
Good.
to me because I'm too
Oh yeah,
smart.
Oh,
I've
Yep.
been there too.
Hey, whistleblower, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know,
Exactly.
you gotta
Exactly.
fight for what's right. If something's wrong, do something about it. Report it.
Well, I mean, I couldn't sit there and do my job standing up for the elderly and mainly elderly and disabled in public housing in throughout Massachusetts, and then be a hypocrite and not help myself. That's,
Right.
that wouldn't. I mean, it just didn't look right, and it didn't feel right. So, yeah, but I
Mm.
learned a lot.
And 4 months, I mean, that's 4 months is 4 months. That's a long time to be homeless. Can you imagine
Yes.
being, 6 months, years, or whatever?
Yeah.
That's not right. It brings you down. and
Yeah, yeah,
and you look at you now and you experienced it. And I'm glad you came on there and tell that story. I know it's tough, but you
Yeah.
did it and you let it
It's.
out. You've
I
been it.
wanted.
that's great of you, Lisa.
Thank
Yep.
you. I wanted to, but I was a little nervous because, it's difficult.
sure,
I,
sure.
yes, it is because you'll
Nobody,
never forget it
not a single
No,
as
that
person,
long as you
trauma,
live.
not a
yeah, that
single
trauma
person
is
in
just
here judges
imprinted.
you. Nobody judges you here.
That's right.
Thank you.
Yes,
No
nobody.
way. No way.
Yeah,
No.
And
yeah,
Well,
I will never judge. I want to see somebody come up to get their feet on the ground. And please, everyone, when you get a chance, it's gonna hit your heart because it's Tina Turner "Help" on YouTube. Okay, may she rest in peace. But it's a beautiful, very touching song.
I
and it'll
love her.
make you think, I love her. She's one of my favorite, all time favorite. I can't replace her, and Queen of Rock and Roll, no replacement. I haven't heard one yet,
Nope,
and
nope.
it probably won't because she was all natural and dancing and singing many years, But
I
check
think
that song out,
I think a
please.
big part of she sang from the trauma that she had gone through in her life.
Yes. I saw
Yes,
the movie
Yeah.
yes,
And
in parts.
we need to turn our trauma into positive, and it'll help us with our trauma, and we can help others see that, look, I was there. I've been there. I did it. You can do it too.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
right. And
Exactly.
you look at you, you thought positive and you did it. Hey, 4 months is enough. Can you imagine if it was years, Lisa? Oh my goodness!
No,
But you didn't want to get to that point, and you did something. And look at you. Now
thank
you're
you.
telling a story, and thank you for sharing that on air, because you know when you hear these stories and listen closely and get in their shoes and you'll feel the pain.
Right.
Living on the streets and know you won't even know if you wake up and you're alive.
Right.
Or starvation, dehydration, all that
Mm,
comes into effect.
yes.
Your
Right.
health could go totally downhill. And
It did. It did. My mental health, after the 4 months, and then I had an apartment, and then I fell apart once I was in my apartment.
yeah,
That's when
because
I was
mm,
safe.
that's
Yeah.
right. You
So,
experienced it front lines. You was there,
yeah,
and
yeah.
Hey,
and
Lisa,
I'm
if you ever need to talk, I'm always here.
and me
Thank you. I
too. We're
appreciate that.
always,
Thank
yep.
Thank you,
you.
Lisa.
Thank you.
We're
Well,
all here for you. You got our support, okay? And
Thank you.
always will. We got to stick together, encourage
That's
each
it.
other, inspire each other to do
That's it.
what's right and help them out.
Right.
Because they deserve it. You don't know what situation they was in. Lost a
No.
job. Look at the veterans and look at the
Ugh,
children out there living on the street in their cars. What is going on here? Something's got to get better, improve, bring the negative into the positive. It can be done from
well,
all angles.
we
Yep.
here in Fall River housing, we years ago we made veterans the priority on the list. They come
Yep.
first,
good.
and then it's the
Good.
elderly, disabled. Yeah,
Yep. Because they
because
Good.
fought
they
for our country. They was risking
exactly.
their lives fighting for our country. Right
Yep.
there
Yeah.
and then they didn't even know if they was going to come home at all.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I can tell you that when we get a call or a application from a veteran, we always give them the VA 800 number if they are wanting to get additional help besides with their pet. A lot of them are very disenchanted by the government completely, and they don't want anything to do with it. So, but we always offer that. When we talk to somebody that is a survivor of domestic violence, we always give them a website that will show them where there is domestic violence shelters that allow pets. Of course, we can't give them addresses or anything like that because that the abuser will try to find them. But
Correct.
we do keep their identity, and that's why on our stories that we tell, we never give the person's name. Sometimes we'll give a city, or if it's a large city. But it's about the stories are about the pet and what has happened with that pet, and we will say this is a veteran, or this is a disabled person that is reaching out to us. You know what, I have to tell you that if I get cut off, it's because my battery is down to 2 on
Uh-oh.
my phone,
Oh no!
and I would hate to like
To
all
just
of a
hang up.
sudden disappear, and you're like, what happened to her?
I have to send out another
So I
round.
apologize before that happens.
You have to send out another life raft because we're on the boat.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, we understand, but I'm going to go ahead and close. This has been another great show. I mean, I don't have no complaints on any of them. All these amazing guests and topics are so informative, educational, bringing awareness, everything from every angle. And I always get great feedback. So, you can comment on these shows, everybody. Put your comments in, like these shows, share the show from the chat room, and everything. But I can't thank all of you enough. This is just a huge shout out to all of you because it takes teamwork all the way. I can't do it by myself. No way. So and the super team I got, hey, it just inspires me to keep going. Hello, Riverside.fm. Here I come. 4 more shows on this one, and then I have to give up my Podbean Queen crown.
Uh-oh.
I have to regain it again. Again.
Newbie status.
Yep. But I want to thank all of you for tuning in out there on the Podbean Podcast web that's tuning in, and also in this chat room. This chat room is phenomenal. And thank you, Aloha and Lisa, for joining us, Mama Cat and Michelle. Look at this list, and all you new listeners coming in. Oh, and I'll tell you, it is a great feeling, and to have all of you and working together with all of you because that's what keeps me going. I mean, it inspires me. I can't do it alone. They blame it on society. We are society. Let's do
We
something.
are.
Okay? We don't want to hear, oh, they don't care, this and that. No. Find out yourself. Just don't go on hearsay or anything like that. Take that action and see who cares. Contact those representatives, senators. So that's what it takes. And another, I can't wait to this other show with you. It's Genevieve, right? Is that the way?
Genevieve.
Genevieve. Okay, Genevieve. I can't thank you enough for coming on air again on this podcast. What a great show! Such an honor and a pleasure to have you. And please, when the time comes for the document, let me know, and I'll go out there and right when it comes out and go out and blast it all over the place.
I think
Okay?
Genevieve's phone died.
Oh,
She's
she
not
did. Yeah,
here.
yeah, because she did. She only
She
had two
missed the
minutes.
boat.
Had 2%.
Forgot the boat.
I'll tell her. I always send emails thanking them. But anyway, next week we're on next Thursday. We're going to have Adam Shuglowski back on
All
Bear Defenders.
right.
Okay, and he's from One Protest, and we'll be discussing the dog wars. And if you want to visit that on the internet, where these dogs here in Florida, they're trained to kill these deers, up to 6 of them. It is so cruel in some of these cities. It's bad enough with the bears, black bears. They had the black bear hunt last year in December, but they haven't got to that point because they're trying to get it past where they can use 6 dogs, trained dogs, to hunt down the black bears here in Florida, trophy hunting. No, we got to fight that, everybody, because that's so wrong, and stop these dogs from. And it's not the dog's fault. They're trained to kill. Okay, they have no
Yes.
choice, and they get abused and neglected in the behind the scenes. It's terrible. And we'll also be talking about farm abuse also that's happening. That's what he's investigating now. So we got some good topics. Another great show next week. So
I'll be
hope you
there.
join. Yeah, 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Mountain, and 4 o'clock Pacific. Listening worldwide, everyone. And I hope to see you next week. The 4 shows and countdown. Okay. And Lisa, thanks for getting on air and telling that story. It was very I mean, 4 months is too long, and so glad that you didn't have to go any longer than that.
Thank
You know,
you.
so and aloha. At least
Thank
I
you.
can't thank you enough, and I hope you have a fast recovery from your surgery on your hand and everything.
Thank you.
You know, yep, and we'll be animal warrior sisters for life. You know, for life, because
Amen.
that's what it
Amen.
takes. Amen. Right? We have to stick together and work together because that's what it takes for these changes to happen. And thanks, my mother, Pat Dahmer, aka Moose. You don't look like a moose, but another name for mom. Beautiful woman inside and out, and love her support too. But I can't thank all you enough, and I hope you join us next Thursday. The last show will be hard on me because it's my last show on there, and I will miss it. I got to admit, because when I got it together, it's been over a little bit over a year, but I got to move forward and look forward to Riverside.fm, and I'll never forget it. So just like Blog Talk Radio for 10.5 years, and but we're going to make it stronger, okay? And it's going to take all of you to follow me, the listeners, and to move it up the ladder. Because the more voices and action takers, the faster the changes, right? That's what it takes.
It is.
But yeah. But all you new listeners that came in from Podbean, thank you for tuning in. Follow the host, spread the word, because that's what it takes. Keep that share, share, share for the mama bear. Because uh, out there when it gets out there in the new feeds on any social media, then it's going to pick up and go viral. That's what we want to see, and help this. Feeding the pets of the homeless. Visit their website, Facebook page, YouTube. The list on there. What was it? Instagram also. But just if you search it on the internet, you'll find everywhere where they're at, and give her your support because she's been doing this 2008. That's
Oh,
eight
wow.
almost 18 years helping the homeless and their pets, and so meaningful and heartfelt. And she's never give up.
That's a
You know
long
that's
time.
that's right. 18 years, and it's a great organization. If you want to donate, it's a great reputation. Just watch out for these fake ones, these, that collect
Yeah.
money and they don't help out at all. Just do your homework, before you donate. And even on rescues, you see some fake rescues coming through and everything. So, and it's not right because animals always pay the price. And that's the sad part.
It is. And they do.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. And did you have anything else to say, Mama? Can stay warm, 23 degrees.
I gotta go buy all my plants in.
Snowman and Snow Woman. And tell George hello. He's probably listening. I hope. Thank you, George.
Yep.
Hello, George. Stay warm. I'll send you some sun from down here over to Colorado so you can get
Ooh,
warm. and, and, and I'll probably laugh, but it'll probably be 28 tomorrow night. Karma. Remember that one time I did that, and it was like
I
what
do.
down? Yeah, I got hit with karma bad for like a
Oh,
couple weeks
laugh
in a
so
row.
hard.
Yeah, that's what I get. That's what I get.
That's what
Yep.
you get, rubbing it in. Oh, I'm out here on my patio. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah.
Next
Live
thing you
stream.
know, 28 degrees. That's what you get.
That's what I know. That was karma. I couldn't
It
believe it. It
was.
was freezing. Yep, and I couldn't believe it. That's what it takes. But I want to thank you all, and hope you join us next week. It's coming to an end for Podbean, May 14th. So
No.
you can still join in till then. I got the guests booked up, so you know keep joining us, and then I'll set it up when I go on Riverside.fm, and I'll be announcing it everywhere. And please join us and help me out from any way you can.
Will. I will.
I know, Mama Cat, I know, and I got that big surprise, good surprise coming, but I'm not going to say nothing.
Oh.
But yeah, everyone, I want you to have a good and peaceful evening. And think about the homeless out there and their pets, because bring them up, help them get their feet back up on the ground. We got to do some positive changes here, because we don't want to see it from 5, 10 years and it's still the same, same statistics and all that. But anyway, Mama Cat, are
Wow.
are you ready?
I'm
Paw
ready.
in hand.
Paw in hand, united we stand against all animal cruelty and neglect across the land. Good night, everybody. God bless and have a great weekend.
Thank
Good
you,
night,
Mama
everyone.
Cat, and thank you to all of you. May God bless you all. With our voices, the animals will be heard. With our actions, the animals will seek justice. Good night, everyone, and thank you all for tuning in to Voices Cared for Animals podcast, coming live stream on Podbean podcast app and player.
Night,
Leader voice.
everybody.
Good night, Mama Cat. Big Mama Bear hugs.
Right back at ya.